Shawnee. Welcome back. So today's video is going to be me attempting to copy a look, and it is part of my weekly video with my good girlfriend Jan Van. Basically, I'm going to try to recreate this look here that I found on Melt Cosmetics Instagram, and I'm going to actually use a Melt Cosmetics palette. Let me tell you how I got this palette. So you know there's all the jazz about Melt shades, sometimes growing mold and stuff. So I was looking at one of my palettes and one of the shades looks a little wonky. I don't think it's mold, but it's something. So I went ahead and I emailed their customer service. Immediately they were like, we will send you a new palette, and they didn't have the one that I wanted. So I asked them to send me Electrip, which is one I have not heard many people talk about, but is so pretty. Now, the Melt palette that I had this issue with is the Gemini 2, which seems to be the one that most people have an issue with. And that's the one that I've had, I think, for the least amount of time. So all of my other Melt palettes are fine. So I don't know what's happened in the past however many years, but I've been rocking with Melt since they had the stacks. Let me know if you remember those. But all my other palettes are fine from them. So yeah, but I can really appreciate their customer service was amazing. Now I think this look will be relatively simple. It was done by Full Metal Jackson. I'll make sure to have her Instagram. And I believe she just used this palette with this shade and this shade, maybe this one. So I'm going to try to recreate this. Hopefully it's straightforward and easy. And I'm just gonna jump in. I also have to tell you this news story, okay? I have been grappling with this story since I read it. I'm going to start with this Specular Sparkle and Shimmer Glue Base from Divina Cosmetics. Okay. This story is about a 30-year-old couple in Florida, because why not? I think their names are, let me get it, because I want to make sure to give you the full story correctly. They're 30 years old. Their names are Alexander and Rachel. Now, they met in high school. Was it high school? Yeah, right before their graduation, and they've been together ever since. So they've been together about 12 years, married for half of that time, about 6 years, and they have 3 children. I think it's a 7-year-old boy, like a 4-year-old, or I'm sorry, 7-year-old boy, 6-year-old girl, and a 2-year-old boy. Now, this story is going to include bodily functions, and that is breastfeeding, which is an amazing thing, right? The female body, okay? We just got it going on. Now, I want to hear from those of you who have breastfed, and even those of you who have not, because I haven't. I haven't had a reason to. But let me just start the story, okay? And while I do that, I'm going to go into the shade Blue Heaven. Blue Heaven. I don't have my long nails on yet, so I'm just using this. Okay, so Alexander and Rachel went on a cruise, and the cruise was child-free. They couldn't bring no kiddos. Now, at this time, Rachel was breastfeeding, and she realizes, oh snap, I didn't bring my breast pump. So her boobs are getting engorged. She doesn't want to get mastitis, all this stuff. So it seems like they were on a cruise with their family. I don't know whose bio family it was, but it's like they're on the cruise with family, in-laws, whatevs. So they're trying to figure out, WTF, what's going on, Rachel? How can we help, you know? And somebody was like, why don't you just drink the milk and enjoy yourselves? So the couple laughs it off, but you know, they gotta do something. So what's his face? Alexander drinks her breast milk, but not in the way, because people do drink breast milk, right? It has all kind of healthy properties. So not in the way that you just like get it out the fridge or something. No, he latches onto her breast. Now, okay. Here's the thing. They said it's not about sex. It's not a kinky thing. They said it's not a kink. Because if it were, I would just be like, okay. But it's not. So that's where I feel like I can judge. Am I being immature? Because let me tell you the rest. Apparently everybody always asks, you know, is it a kinky thing? No, it's not. They said no, it's not. So they were like, you know, it was the best way for it to come out. I've heard of people doing it other ways, but I don't know. I don't have the experience, right? And he said that it felt good, and he was like, it's a vibe. It's a vibe. Okay, cover your ears. Cover the kids' ears. She said her husband sucked it dry. I want to make sure you know that nothing wrong with breastfeeding, okay? Like, people get a little crazy when they see somebody breastfeeding, which is weird. So I want to make sure that you know I'm not talking about like breastfeeding is fine. Nothing bad, nothing wrong. Feed the baby when you need to feed the baby, right? 'Cause we sexualize breasts, whatever. But this seems a little strange. So that's where I kind of want your opinion. I'm being judgmental, right? We're all judgmental about various things. I'm being judgmental, but I think it's coming from a place of ignorance, maybe being sheltered, maybe being... Let me tell you what else they said. So apparently that was like maybe a one and done. So then that was when she was breastfeeding the daughter, who is now 6. So when they had the 2-year-old, like it seemed like she was over lactating. So she like had excess milk. So she thought she didn't want to dispose of it, but I thought you could donate your breast milk. Anyway, so she said, well, I'll just make milk for 2. So for the baby and for the husband. So he was like, bet, you know, let's get her done. And I don't know how often the baby was breastfeeding, but the husband, or being breastfed, the husband was being fed by the breast up to 3 times a day. Now they're like, oh, we just do it, you know, like once a week, once every couple of days. In my experience, people be lying about stuff. Like when I ask clients, like, how much do you drink or something? I always round up, okay? Understandable. You don't want to put all your business out there. But he said, so he's like a music producer. I ain't never heard of him, but whatever. And he said it like makes him stronger mentally and just makes him like more creative. And she is like that she likes the emotional bond that comes from like the skin to skin contact, which, you know, that kind of makes sense to me. He describes it. I'm not going to describe it for you because I'm okay. You don't need to know. You can go ahead and look it up. Alexander and Rachel, 30 years old, Florida, breastfeeding. Just Google that. They said they don't do it in public and the family hasn't seen it. But everybody everybody gonna see it now because you on the internet with this story. And oh my God. So I saw there was, like, I looked at the written story, but then I also watched the interview. This was the best interviewer I have ever seen. She was so respectful and so just like, because I wouldn't have been. So that's why they didn't ask me. That's why they didn't ask me to do this interview. I just wouldn't have been. I'd be like, what y'all doing? What you doing? And the thing that gets me is that they claim it's not sexual. But I guess it's media. But the way they were portraying it, she like bops in with her little tight dress and is like, and he's just like, like, that looks sexual to me. I don't know. Okay. And I think they have a TikTok or something. And it's all just like very provocative. So it's just like, how you gonna say it's not like a sexual thing, but you like twerking and slapping stuff and I feel like if they would have just said, like, maybe they don't but, you know, I'm not shaming behavior. I would just like to understand. Because also I kind of feel like, couldn't you donate that milk? Like, does your husband need it? Like, I don't know. I wonder what her doctor thinks. Like, I guess it's fine. Okay? I guess it's fine. Now, reading this story made me remember another story. Why? I don't know, okay? But there's another one. And this one has to do... There's this female pastor in Ghana. Have you heard this? Let me know if you've heard this. I think I'm gonna bring this. I'm gonna bring it up a little bit. Female pastor in Ghana, and there's a video of her preaching at this church. It actually looks like it's an outdoor venue. I'm not quite sure. And I can't understand what she's saying. What I do understand is that there's a young man, maybe middle age, I don't know how he is, in front of her. She has like a long weave. She has like a flowy like robe thing on. And he comes up, you know, when you go to church and they're like, come to the altar for prayer, it looks kind of like that. Like he was coming to the altar to be blessed, you know, anointed with oil and such. I you know, grew up in the church, almost married a pastor, blah. So, apparently, see, this one I think I can judge harshly, you know, because I've read the scriptures, okay? I can tell you what's in them and what's not in them, all right? I don't know what, this isn't the King James Version of the Bible. She whips out her breast and has him, like, suckling, like he latches on. She's calling it holy breast milk. Ain't such a thing. There is no such thing as holy breast milk. I'm a terrible person. I accept that, okay? Typically, I don't judge people, especially if I'm not understanding. I try to just, like, learn. But I can almost 100% tell you that the law didn't say nothing about breast milk being holy, especially if you're giving it to everybody else. Okay, so this one confused me because I'm like, ain't that for her baby? Like, shouldn't you be saving that? Like, how you just like, where has that breast been? Like, you just put it in people's mouth. And I'm gonna tell you why, again, it's not holy. Because he wasn't supping from that cup like it was holy. He was, so I told my brother, my brother's an idiot. trying to find out what church it is. Ain't nothing holy about that, okay? Nothing. Not one thing is holy about it. Because holy water, like you can bless the water, right? But how do you bless breast milk? How do you bless that? Inquiring minds. How do you bless it? I feel like that's a health hazard. Like, this is a community, like, this is like a community event. And you just, like, I don't think you can have your breast out like that. And she talking about his holy breast milk, y'all. But here's him. And she's like, ah, woo! Like, what do they say? That there are false prophets, child. And I don't, what, like, how, who taught her to be a preacher? Could you imagine? Listen, if that's how I'm gonna be blessed by Jesus, I don't want it, okay? Girl, I don't want it, ma'am. Let me be a heathen, okay? Because it don't say nothing about I need to suckle at your breast to get a blessing. What's it supposed to do? Is it healing? Because if it's healing, maybe. I don't know. Like, but maybe she know why she did it. Maybe he know. I know why he did it. He was the congregation member, the churchgoer. He wasn't doing nothing holy. He wasn't doing nothing holy. He really was. From my eyes, it didn't look holy. It's just, tell me what you know. Tell me what you think. By all means, call me out, please, if I'm being insensitive. I don't want to be. This is really, I'm confused. I think especially because the first one, the husband and wife, they're saying it's not for like sexual or kink purposes, but I'm also wondering, like, they're presenting it in that way. And I'm also wondering, why are you having a story done on you? Because that just seems like you're doing it for the gram, the clock app, the social medias. I feel like I can already call a spade on the pastor thing. Like, I've been in church. I was in church for my whole life. Like, I know, okay? That ain't holy, baby. That's not holy. Or I don't know what denomination that is. Girl, I can't. Let me go ahead and put some foundation on, and then I'm gonna come back and do like the rest. I'm so concerned. I would like to know what you think. Okay, so I did my base, and I'm going to go back into this shade Pseudo, which is that deep teal I've been using. And it looks like she has some like in the corner, inner corner, and then coming out in sort of like a V. So I'm going to see if I can do that. And then I'm going to do that V. Let's see. Okay, so I'm going to do it on the other side and finish everything off. So here is the finished look. Lots of bluey, tealy goodness. And I love a dramatic wing. And I love an eyeshadow wing rather than an eyeliner. besides the look, tell me what you think of those 2 stories I shared. I am so curious. Very, very curious. Like, give me your insight. Maybe I'm missing something. Anyway, I hope that some of this was helpful, and I also hope that you are continuing to take care of yourself. I will love it if you like the video, and I would love it even more if you subscribe to the channel. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you next time.